Can you hear me now? There we go. Sorry about that, my bad. I should always make sure that the mic's working when before I start talking. All right, what's up, Sincere? Good evening. Pacific Products Incorporated. Hello, been a long time. Will from Mississippi. What's up, Will? Let's Mars, g'day, mate. Grade A music. Bitcoin back to 19.5K. Quite possible. Yeah. Maybe even 19, to be honest. You know, there's a line of resistance here that we could back test potentially in the coming days, but we'll get to that in a minute. Who else we got in here? MSJS. What's up, man? Okay. What was I saying when the mic was off? Oh yeah. There's nothing like from this at least at this stage. There's nothing suggesting that this is a failed move up. That this is just fake and false and it's manipulation. It's very healthy for a move like this to get some kind of pullback. It needs to consolidate. It needs to find where the support lives. So far it's 20,500. And it is dropping still. Yep, it's in a short-term downtrend, right? If you go on the 5-minute chart, you can see that. The first violent part, I would argue that was thanks to the stock market. Let me turn the music down because it's a bit overpowering. Happens every stream, doesn't it? All right, so if we go to the S&P 500, you can see it got rejected. It got rejected at that trend line that we've been following, right? Since the S&P 500 all-time high. Let's go out on the daily and zoom the hell out, so you can see how many touches we've had. Let me just hide these indicators here. This was the sixth, I would argue, the sixth attempt at breaking, but so far, no good. Not yet, guys, not yet. Who knows what the rest of the week will bring? I don't think there's any calendar events for the rest of this week. Let's go to the week that we're in. So we just had PPI not long ago, only a matter of 12 hours ago or less, about 10 hours. So that came in lower than forecast. So that is a good thing. Retail sales are down, which means that there's no demand. Now, demand is what drives inflation. So if the demand is coming down, that means that inflation should in turn be on the course of reaching that 2% target, right? That's what we want ultimately. Let's check out Truflation just quickly. So that's still low. It hasn't made massive progress in the last month, but at least it's not going up, and that's what we want. We just want to keep that coming down. So inflation's looking good on that website. The next, we just recently had a CPI release, so the next one's not for a little while yet. Let me just see if I get, this is the entire month of January on the calendar view. So what have we got coming up? We've just had PPI. Is there any other interesting or high impact events coming up? Flash services PMI, I don't know what that is. Advanced GDP. So this is basically the one that gets everyone excited about GDP. It's kind of like the reading that they put out before the fact, before the actual result comes in. So if you look here, there is advanced GDP, preliminary GDP, and final GDP. So final is actually a medium impact event. So it's not as big as the advance or the preliminary. So advanced GDP is like saying, Well, that was the actual. That was actual GDP from the recent reading, right? But they are we haven't got the forecast yet. We have not got the forecast, but this shows that Q4 of 2022 was a positive positive quarter. So that's great. It's good. 3.2%. I think that came in, let's see. If we go to previous month, last month rather, we'll find where the final GDP. You can see it's an orange folder. It's only a medium impact, but it pulled in a 3.2%, which is really good. That's healthy, right? So you can see all the other quarters of 2022 were red or negative. So that was actually a growth quarter, the first quarter of 2022. 6.9%. It was just lower than what was forecast. They were expecting a 7. They got a 6.9. No big deal. But these two quarters here are what people were suggesting were the beginnings of a recession, you know. But now that we're pulling in this 3.2, it's not looking so great for the people calling for a recession, huh? It doesn't, like, a 3.2% is definitely like optimistic, right? Growth. Look at December 2022 of 2020, 33.4% after being down 31.4%. That was that, you know, thanks to the COVID pandemic, right? But yeah, you can see in the history, like, most GDP readings are positive. They're not negative. Like, there's a -1, there's one. You really have to go hunting for them to find one. There's one, there's one. And then this year's been really bad. We've had 2 negative quarters in a row, which technically is a recession, but we're already out of it. We're 3.2% growth for Q4 2022. Okay, I feel like I'm repeating myself now. All right. Just ignore that the numbers are red and green. It just means they were higher or lower than the forecast. That's all. When they're white, it means they were bang on. They got the forecast accurate to actual. I wonder if this goes back. See, here's the GFC, right? Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters in a row of negative GDP. 4 quarters. That's an entire year, right? 2022, as bad as we think it is, it's only pulled in just negative on the Q3, right? The Q2 was not great, 1.6% negative GDP. But yeah, I'm by no means is this the worst recession ever that's on, you know. I just don't see that yet from the figures. Anyway, that's enough about GDP. So we know that that's coming up. It's the advanced GDP, so it's kind of like the pre-forecast. Then there's preliminary GDP, which is something different again. Now, I think preliminary comes in like a month beforehand. So we won't see GDP actual until March, believe it or not. It comes 3 months late. I feel like preliminary GDP came in somewhere this month. Yeah, oh wait, no, that's prelim UOM. Yell out if you can see it. Okay, there's preliminary. Okay, it's gonna happen on February the 23rd. So yes, we are still in January. Let's go to this month. Let's focus in on that. So not a hell of a lot left of this month. Only 3 high impact things. Flash services PMI, advanced GDP, core PCE price index. What the hell is PCE? Personal consumption expenditures. Okay. Sorry if this this kind of like economic reporting is boring. I know that it's a crypto stream, but this stuff matters. This stuff has a huge impact on markets. You know, even yesterday, even when we got the is it the PPI? Producer price in, yes, the PPI, 11:30 p.m. in my time zone. Let's see what that did. 11:30 p.m. last night. So there it is. Big like Star Wars dual lightsaber type candle. A bit of downside, bit of upside. Go to the 1 minute chart, we'll really see it in all its glory. So it was an initial pump. See, this is why these high impact events are very crazy. Like they cause a lot of volatility. Once the trend sets in though, you know that you can ride really nice trading. But look, it proved too difficult to break beyond $21,650. Shout out to a guy called Trago, who said that was the target, like that was the high point, 21,650. Oh, let me catch up with some of the comments. Hey, what's up, Vivamort? Hey, how you doing? Doge Moon. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Doge Moon. There was a crypto Department of Justice meeting, is why it dropped. I don't agree with that's why it dropped. I believe it's more this. The stock market doesn't care about the Department of Justice reporting on crypto, so you know, I think this is the primary reason for the drop. I think it's just a coincidence that the DOGE thingy happened. But, you know, the Department of Justice has been coming after crypto for, you know, probably all the time. They're probably always after it, so it's nothing new, right? But yeah, no, it's still significant. Like, you know, we got to keep our eyes peeled on that kind of stuff. Justice Department announces arrest of Russian cryptocurrency founder. Okay, that's cool. The more people they can get rid of, like the more criminals in this system they can get rid of, the better for crypto, right? I welcome it. I welcome tougher regulation over people that are exploiting the space, you know? Like Sam Bankman-Fried. Anyway, say Cardano advanced, please, Rick. Cardano advanced. So is Genesis gonna bring crypto down like FTX? I'm guessing yes, but not as bad as FTX. What's your thoughts? Good question. There was a bailout of the onboarding ramp. There's this crypto bank, right, called Silvergate, and they were in trouble. And anyway, recently they got bailed out, just like how the banks got bailed out in 2008 during the global financial crisis, right? They got rescued. So kind of weird. I mean, it's a good thing for crypto, I suppose, because, you know, we need all the institutional entities, you know, providing liquidity and, you know, causing more activity in the market as possible, right? We need that kind of stuff. So shouldn't be praying for anything's demise. Only the criminals, right? We want to like weed out the criminals. Now, I don't know for or against of what Silvergate's all about, like what they've been up to, but anyway, I'm not going to try and speculate or theorize or make any conspiracies up. But yeah, that, I guess the long and short of it was that they were in trouble and they needed bailing out, and it's happened. So that's a good thing. What's up, Ranjan? How you doing, man? So yeah, sixth rejection. Rejection 1, you can see down the line here. 5 was interesting because we actually came out of it quite strong. And I think, now if we go to the daily, it may just be a wick on the daily. Let's zoom right in. No, it was a close. Okay, so it opened really high on that day, but then came roaring back down. Very violent move back down. But this rounding bottom formation was cool to see that. Rounding bottom, setting in a higher low than here. Yeah, it's hard to say. Like, does this rejection at number 6, is that gonna cause a new downtrend to push us down and test, 330 on the S&P? Or is this just a pullback and then we get a reattempt until we, break out of it? Who knows? I guess instead of making a prediction about what will happen, let's just wait and see. Let's wait for the confirmation of what's going to happen with the S&P. But at the moment, obviously, rejection coming down, reflected on Bitcoin as well, because Bitcoin draws a lot of sentiment from the stock market. So it had a tumble as well after hitting that double top. So this was a bit of a, I guess you could call it a liquidity grab, or just a, your classic double top. I want to look left and see if there's any kind of level, because we got above the pre-FTX high. I think that came in at 21,500 or 21,480, so you're just shy of that level. But yeah, look, there's a lot of resistance at this level. Look at all these candles here that topped out and could not get a close higher. They got wicks, but nothing, no substantial close higher. 22.5 is an interesting level for that when we eventually get to that level. But yeah, I feel like the key resistances are, let's just change this to a bit thicker. So we've dealt with this one pretty much, or we're at it, which is also this one. Then we need to deal with this level, whatever this resistance is, 22.5, or even a wick to 23 in this case, almost. And then, so that's level 2. And then level 3 is up here, $25,000, or 24.5 if you're going by candle bodies, right? So those are the 3 sort of key levels of resistance we're dealing with right now, that are holding us down until we get a clear run to 30K. That would be like the next target level. So we're not quite there yet, but we've made a little bit of progress. I'm gonna hide all of those and let's just focus in. Oh, by the way, there's the funds rate. It's coming up soon, right? 1st of February or 2nd of February for me. 1st or 2nd, either one. All right, let's hide that. Now, I'm gonna go to the weekly chart because I want to look at some major pivot points. And I want to see what's been hit and where those points live. So we're going to take this high here, which is like the most really standout high from last year, I believe. So we haven't quite come up to test the 236, nowhere near it. Okay, so we've marked that off. Let's go down here and check if there's any significant levels that we're dealing with. Okay, so we're getting a cap out at the 382 Fibonacci level from that high. Now it starts to get interesting when you bring it down to these more recent highs, like doing a retracement from there. You can see that the 0.618 fib level, I'm going to go to the daily chart so we can get a bit more detail. There we go. 0.618, the golden fib level, is causing the current resistance. So until we break that convincingly and start getting candle closes above, say, 22,000, I would say this is the price to beat. This is the level to beat. And then we've got the 786 fib level, which is 23,127. So yeah, a couple of hurdles to get through before we can really say that we're out of the woods. So we're not quite there yet. We've just had the daily close, by the way. So we've just started a brand new day. Off to a good start. A 0.19% candle for Bitcoin and climbing. So if we go to the daily chart, you can see what yesterday's candle, which we just closed, caused. And you can see that there's buying pressure on the bottom side and of course on the top side. Now when you start seeing long wicks like that on the top side, you know that there is sell pressure. So there's likely to be some kind of pullback, right? Which is kind of what we got in the last few hours. So totally healthy. It's not the end of the run by any means, by a long stretch. We've gone like 5 steps up and 1 step back. And there are signs of support. Look at the length of these wicks, especially this one here. It got bought all the way back up. I think there would be a lot of bulls lining up, waiting. They were waiting for this pullback so that they can enter this bull trend, right? Because it is on a higher time frame. Like if we go to like the 4-hour chart and we take this move, I'd say the impulsive part of it probably started about here. Or if you really want to get, talk about the true impulse, it was from here. But yeah, we've sort of set in a high. And then this is the first like sort of pullback, significant pullback from that run. And then, either we continue to pull back, we lose this level that we're out of support, and then, come down to test another key level. There is a bit of activity over here from, the run up. There was a bit of resistance here. That is the 382 fib level, so 19,200 we'll call it. So yeah, price could still come down and test that level to see if it's going to hold as support before, bouncing up and trying to continue the uptrend for a wave 3, basically, if you're an Elliott wave fan. But yeah, anyway, for all sakes of possibility, this could be the bounce zone, this 0.5 fib level. Let's do a different kind of retracement. I want to do an extension, a fib extension, and I'm going to take it from this point here. This is the 2022 low, I believe. I'm going to have to fix that up because it didn't quite get on the mark. Let me go to a higher time frame. That's better. Okay. So we want to go here. We want to go up here. And then we want to go to the lowest point since then. Here. Lock. Alright, so it seems like the 1.618 fib area or level is where we're having this this traffic jam. Which also, of course, coincides with this area or level of traffic that we fought so hard to try and get up on top of, but inevitably didn't quite make it. So those are the fibs. We smashed the 1-to-1 extension. Obviously the 618 and the 786 got smashed too on the way up. But you can see the 618 did cause a bit of resistance to begin with. It was a little sticky. 0.786 got blasted through, no looking back. But you can see the 1-to-1 fib extension which was basically at, let's call it just 19,000, right? That caused some resistance as well. So but yeah, here we are. We'll see if we can continue to appreciate in price or whether this pullback has only just begun. Totally on board for both scenarios. You know, got to be prepared for both, right? Um, that way you don't come you don't get sprung by surprise and you know, if you're trading and you're expecting things to go up when they go down, it's a rude shock. So always be open to both directions. Always be aware that it's possible that price can go against what you're thinking. So surprise, surprise. Now let's check out some altcoins. I think Solana, if we go on the hourly chart, yeah, Solana was trying to establish some kind of consolidation pattern, I would say, something like this. Something along those lines, right? But couldn't quite get it. I think it was Bitcoin just wasn't coming to the party. Bitcoin was a bit tired from its 7-day run up or 14-day run up. It's been running up all year so far. And so has Solana, right? So is a lot of the market, pretty much. 2023 has been a bull trend, a bull run, right? Not an all-time high bull run, not a bull market yet, but it's looking like it could start, it could kick off. Yeah, let's have a look. Yeah, good question. Let's have a look at those EMAs on Bitcoin. I might have to manually put them in. I'm gonna have to get a subscription to TradingView, by the way, so that I can have these indicator templates, which is really cool. You can save. Let's say I wanted to save this current layout of indicators. You can save a template and just cycle through your templates rather than going and digging them out manually every time, you know? So these are the default ones. If we go to the EMA ribbon, like this is a so-called ribbon that's just had a twist on the 1 hour all the way back here. So when it twists like that, it's kind of showing that there's a change in the air. And on the 4-hour chart, the ribbon is still healthy as an up trend. The daily ribbon has only recently started to switch. So that's cool. It's just getting started, guys. Like, it could end up being something like this, you know? We don't want that, but it could be. This happened, you know, when there was still a hell of a lot of leverage in the crypto market, right? A lot of leverage to be unwound still. I believe we've been unwinding that leverage for many months now, and I think it's time to get some substantial recovery back on price. I think that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. But yeah, the EMA ribbons are interesting, right? So yeah, today so far off to a decent start. 1.5% up for Solana. Damn it, it is off to a nice start there. Let's go to the 1 hour again. Okay, that's right. I was going to look at Bitcoin with this setting on. So Bitcoin on the 1 hour, as we know, like Solana, has just done like an EMA ribbon switch. Now, they don't last forever. They can get flipped back again if the price moves up. So it's just something that sort of reports what price has done. Price does not adhere to what the EMAs tell it to do. Price tells what the EMAs to do. So price is the leader. The market leads the way, the indicators lag. But we can sort of get a delayed sense of what's about to happen by these lagging indicators. Let's just see what all these other templates are about. I don't know if I like this one too much. Bill Williams, 3 lines. Great. Well done, Bill. Displaced EMA. Displaced. I wonder what the theory is behind that, using that as a indication. The EMA ribbon was cool. This is an oscillators template. So you've got your stochastic RSI, standard RSI, and then the CCI, which I don't use. I don't know even what it is. CCI. Anyway, at least on the hour chart, you can see the oscillators have cooled off beautifully, at least on the hour, right? The 4 hour, yeah, the 4 hours stochastically cooled off. The RSI on the 4 hour has come back to like a neutral zone. Let's check the daily. Ooh, the daily is over. Like it appears to be overbought, but look, overbought conditions can stay overbought as long as price wants them to be, you know? So it's not a sign that you have to sell and that we're going down when it's overbought. You know, you would look for other confirmation of a turnaround or a pivot, not just RSI. But it is good to see, like, you know, obviously this RSI being high is reflective of what the hell happened over the past 2 weeks. Totally like reasonable and understandable. So let's go back to a previous part of the cycle, the market, right? And we'll compare. Okay, so post-COVID, there's the COVID drop. RSI came up and it got way overbought here. This is actually really ugly. Let me just change this to a brighter color, just so we can actually see it. Make it yellow. Okay, make this black. Just personal preference. All right. So yeah, this is the daily chart, right? Daily is no joke. Like daily indicators are a strong sort of reading, right? So there's the COVID dip. We came up and we went overbought on RSI quite soon after that drop, right? You know, here we are. Just because we came oversold on the daily RSI does not mean you have to sell and you know, it's not a bear market again all of a sudden, you know? Like if you had that mentality, it means you would have sold here and missed all of that, you know? So RSI, it's only like a small piece of the puzzle, if you will, you know? Especially stochastic RSI. It can be very off-putting because stochastic RSI can come straight back down low, even in an uptrend, right? So evidence of that, I mean, check out the uptrend here. Stochastic pulled back many times during this bull run, this bull market. So anyway, that's just a bit of perspective for you guys to see that it's not the end of the world when the RSI gets overbought. It's not the end of the opportunity. But mind you, it is very high. It's as high as it was back here on the run up to 14K out of the bear market. So bear market rally. Now, look, this stayed high for some time. We've just popped out of it recently. Very strong, of course. But so did price here back through. Let's zoom in on this section of Bitcoin. I might close these other. I just want to focus on RSI at the second. And I'm going to hide the volume. Okay. So we're on the daily chart, right? RSI, overbought signal, overbought signal, overbought signal, overbought signal. So 4 times over the span of like 5 months, we got RSI, you know, striking up above the overbought, and reflected, you know, there was pullbacks post that overbought condition, right? Nothing that crashed the trend. It stayed on trend. These are just healthy pullbacks, which is exactly what I'm suggesting is probably happening with Bitcoin right now. It's like, yes, we've come up high on RSI, but that doesn't mean it's the end. It's just the pullback. Like, look, they do happen in an uptrend. These pullbacks. There's another one there. Now divergence, did we get divergence? Not quite. I think it was all confluent. Equal highs here. Yeah, I guess you could say this was like a slight instance of divergence because we had a lower high here, but equal high on RSI. So that's divergent, which kind of indicated that, you know, we were heading down. But yeah, that's how I see it. I'm not scared of the RSI. It's just like a small piece of the puzzle telling you the temperature of the run, basically. It doesn't mean it's not a reversal indicator by any means. Definitely not. So far this day is off to a good start. 0.32% up for Bitcoin. Doesn't mean a whole lot yet. We need to see a couple of hours of activity to know what the theme for the day is. It could be a day of bounce, like recovery for the altcoins. I'm actually going to wrap this stream up pretty soon because I don't want to miss any activity. I do trade myself as well, so... but some interesting coins lately. I think Shiba has had a really good couple of weeks. Like, yeah, look at this beautiful run that Shiba Inu has had for the past like three or 4 weeks, right? Just very healthy. This is the first, like, I mean, this rip here was very incredible, and then it pulled all the way back again. But it's still on trend, you know. The trend is alive. I wouldn't start getting concerned about the trend on Shiba until you get lower than, say, you know, these lows here. I'll give you a price value. So I would start getting concerned if Shiba came below 0.010455. Now this is SHIB 1000, so that's why it looks like 1 cent. It's a bit different. But yeah, it should be 0.000010625. You know what I mean? Anyway, what's up, Aaron? What's up, GG? Yeah, Saturday is the new moon. Now, I'm pretty sure new moons are considered bearish and full moons are considered bullish, right? Is that correct, GG? I haven't looked at the moon indicator in some time. I'm going to turn that on just for fun. Let's go moon indicator, moon phases. So we've just come, look at that beautiful action off the full moon. Full moon happened, bull run. Full moon happened, bull run. Where's our other bull moon? Here we go, big bounce after the FTX collapse. New moon, choppy, yuck. New moon, choppy, gross. So we're coming up on a new moon, guys. That could mean choppy and gross. It may. We'll see how it goes. It doesn't always have to follow what the moon does, by the way. Like you can see this full moon produced, yeah, a little bit of activity up here, but then bang, something happened and we got shoved straight back down. This new moon was a complete fail. Everything went down on that new moon cycle. Or sorry, full moon cycle. This is a good example of a full moon run. Really nice. This is messy. You could argue down. So yeah, choppy. Down, up, down. That was actually a nice cycle there. You had a nice bear trend, a nice bull trend, and a nice bear trend to finish it off. Into the full moon of a bull trend with a bear trend at the end. So nice zigzaggy market structure. That is so good. These are good conditions. You know, movement in the charts. This is ugly. This right here. You can still scalp it, but yeah, there's no swings in there. No good swings. The scalping potential is good though. That's a range of 7% bottom to top there. So obviously you can scalp. You can pretty much scalp any conditions. Some are going to be better than others, but yeah, if you want to swing trade, you kind of hope for these nice moves in a committed direction. You want some variation in price to make money on a swing trade, right? Otherwise, you're just sitting still, not making anything. I'll delete that. We'll hide the moon indicator. Let's go back to... I just want to see what's happening in the here and now. So the 5-minute chart. Yeah. Slight bit of optimism to begin with, but then, yeah, right now we're pulling back again. So we're back on trend with this, huh? Whatever this structure is here. Kind of looks like a falling, it's definitely a descending channel of some sort, something like that, right? But yeah, wow, this was very nice trading here for the bears. If there was anyone brave enough, any bulls brave enough to catch this, indicated by a tweezer bottom, by the way, that was a nice little bump up, little bounce. 3.47% on Bitcoin. That's significant. 3.47%, guys. That's a big move. Big move down, smaller move up, but still significant. Sliding down a slip and slide right now. Don't know if you would class that as a bull flag because of this push up here, but I doubt it because it's just getting too long, way too long. So from here, if we break out to upside and get back up into this zone, that would be positive for the bulls, right? It's like a healthy sustain of this area, like bulls defending the price, basically. 2 years ago, I changed my GPS voice to sound like Rick, calming. Maybe I should get a job with GPS. Or like Apple can hire me to do like, hey Siri, like the male Siri of Australian accent. I don't know. I'm doing very well. Jack says, full and new. All bring out the interesting people in my area. Yes, I agree, man. There is something to moons. I believe so. Some people call it hocus pocus, you know. The left brainers call it, garbage. But if it's the right brain, the right side of the brain is the creative part, isn't it? Right hemisphere. I don't know. I know that it's weird. Like it's the reverse of what you would think. I think left brain is like rationality and science and maths and facts, whereas like right side is creativity, imagination, stuff like that. There's really good pictures for it. Let me find one for everyone to have some fun with. Here we go. Oh wait, no, I had it. Maybe I had it the... No, I did. I had it the correct way. There you go. Left brain. This is good for trading if you're a left brainer. Decisive, logic, accurate, analytic, reasoning, strategic, control, practical, rigid. This is not good for trading. Emotional, passion, creative, vivid, freedom. Like this is like a dumb money brain. This is a smart money brain on the left. So anyway, I don't know. Sometimes it takes creative thinking to see beyond or outside the box with the chart. So it's a bit of both. I would argue that there is reasoning behind both sides of the brain when it comes to trading and technical analysis, right? But I think, obviously, for executing a plan and a strategy, it is a very left brain operation. You're not using your creativity or your your poetry to to pull off a trading strategy. And if you are, I would love to hear if you're making money doing that. But yeah, that, to be honest, like I am a right brainer. I'm way more creative than I am logical. I'm way more emotional than not emotional. I don't know what the word is for that, but yeah. I'm left-handed. I don't know if what that means as far as the brain goes. Left-handed. Anyway, it'd be all the right side, the right brainers, right? The creative people that give credence to the moon cycle thing, superstition, imagination, creativity, that kind of stuff lends itself to this moon phase indicator. I think that was my point. And for everything else, there's MasterCard. I mean, for everything else, there's other indicators. But yeah, anyway, guys, I don't know. Maybe it's going to be more of this for today. I think we're kind of, to be honest, I think we're hanging out for this funds rate. Whoops, I didn't want to delete it. I think we're hanging out for this federal funds rate. So we need to find out what the interest rates are. We need to find out what Jerome Powell and his buddies see for the future here with inflation and what they think they need to do to keep it under control. Or yeah. Anyway, guys, not a whole lot more to report than that. Check out Cointelegraph and CoinDesk for all the latest news in crypto, that kind of thing. They are really good sources of information, as well as Crypto Twitter, primary source for Twitter, right? It's straight from the horse's mouth in a lot of cases, right? So yeah, but other than that, thank you so much once again for tuning in, guys, and showing support for the channel. Appreciate it. And remember to smash the like button on your way out. I don't think I told you guys to do that at the start. Oops. Anyway, yeah, have a good evening, have a good day wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.